Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes. How the devil are you today? It's been 3 weeks since the season finished. We've got a lot to talk about. How's your weekend been so far? Well, you know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. So it's time for the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, run by us fans in here for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. So get them comments in now. Let's get going. It's kickoff time. Come on, you Foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Bolo Blinds, Pocker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Morning all. Sorry for my dishevelled look. I was quite busy yesterday and I haven't been up long. But I thought you were more important than putting my face on and everything. We've got a lot to talk about. There's been a bit of a managerial merry-go-round in the Premiership already. Chelsea manager's been sacked. Ten Hag could be sacked. Kieran McKenna could be going Man City. Kieran McKenna could be going Man United, even though they won the cup. How the hell can you talk to his representatives 2 days before a cup final and then Man U win the cup final? Well, that is just disgraceful. Enzo's been talked about going to Chelsea. You never know. But if Enzo is contemplating leaving, then to me, he's not 100% committed to the cause, to the club, whatever you want. And that spells a bit of alarm bells with me. Like when Brendan Rodgers wanted to go to Arsenal, he wanted a chat with Arsenal to see. We need the managers, players and staff want to be at our club. Not just want to be here for the money and to better ourselves and move on. To actually want and perform for the club. If there's any doubt in their commitment, I think they should go. Simple as that. And you know what? I wouldn't be bothered if Enzo went. That is my view. That is my views alone. And on that, we've got Locks. So Locks here. Morning, Locks. How are you, pal?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
And Reedy, I think he's finished eating your Weetabix. You finished eating your Weetabix, pal? Sound?
I've got my cup of tea now, and yes, I finished my Weetabix.
You finished your Weetabix from your old employees. Did they know you nicked the cup?
Yep.
Locks, you did your show on Thursday night about Enzo because the news sort of broke roughly about it, in wanting to go to Chelsea. What's your views on it? I didn't actually catch your show, so you'll have to tell me what you said about it.
I think it would be a disaster if he leaves, mate. Not because of him as a manager, but just because of, I think it's the last thing we need. People can think what you want. You know, I'm having people at me on Twitter or X, right, saying, well, you don't like Enzo. It doesn't matter. You know, they're not two exclusive things. You can't not like him, but then also say that it's a good thing he leaves. Like, it's a bad thing for him to leave. I don't care if it was Claude Puel in charge of the club right now, mate. You know, we need stability, right? We're going into a Premier League season where we're going to lose players, right? We're going to lose the out-of-contract players, most of them, right? Vardy and Vestergaard might be staying, but the rest are going. We might lose Dewsbury Hall, you know, again, not from his choice, but maybe just because of FFP. And we're going to get a 10 points deduction, right? Minimum eight or more, right? So for me, the last thing we need is a brand new manager coming in who will change things. Obviously, we won't play the exact same football if a new manager comes in, and I think that's the last thing we need. I think we need a bit of stability going into the new season. I think we need, think what you want about Enzo, but the players do like him. Most of them like him. We see it every day when we see media coming out from the club, the interviews from players. Harry Winks called him the best manager that he's ever played under, for crying out loud. So I just don't think it's a good thing if he goes. I have my list in my head of who I would want to replace him, but for me, number one option would be to keep him. And I've been up and down there. When the news first broke, I was like, he's no way he's going there. And then I was kind of like, no, actually, it looks like he probably is. But now I've gone back and I've thought, I don't think he will, because I just don't think. Somebody put it in the chat at the very start, mate. I'm thinking maybe are Enzo's representatives trying to get him a new deal at Leicester with all this talk, and
Could be. Could be.
because people are saying, like you said at the start, which is a fair enough comment. If he's thinking about going, get him gone. I get what you're saying, but still, the only person we've heard say that Enzo is keen on leaving is Fabrizio Romano. He's the only reliable person, and even he doesn't get things right a lot of the time. So it might be rubbish, and it might just be media talk. And I've even seen an in the know, right? Obviously, that's why I'm doing
ITK.
I've seen an in the know Chelsea account say that apparently it is all a smokescreen. Names are being thrown out into the media. And it's actually De Zerbi that they're going after.
Well, I think we'll see very soon. I think by the end of the week, we'll probably see. Reedy, Andy Medhurst, your good mate. Is Enzo getting too big for his boots? Seems very arrogant person. Would you agree with that comment? Is he getting too big for his boots?
No, because again, I think I'm the same as Locks. I don't agree that this is all like he's the biggest favourite for Chelsea and whatnot. Like, in my eyes, it's one of the biggest jumps and the biggest fast tracks to a top team management position. So if he wants to go, like, there's no way in doubt. If you got given a job that was a lot higher wage, a lot better position, you'd take it, wouldn't you? In a way, as long as you wanted to go. So, like, yeah, I agree with Locks. I think he should stay. I think, like I say, with the reset when going down into the Championship and his philosophy and style coming into the game, we've had that for a whole year. We've eventually got to a point where we kind of know it on the back of a hand in a way. Probably still not perfect, but a lot of it's like come and gone, and now it's getting there. So now it's about keeping that consistency and keeping that structure and going into this season knowing what you need to do with a few extra changes. But no, don't get me wrong. If he goes, I'd say fair play to him because he's gone up into the Premier League on his back from leaving Man City. So if he does go, fair enough. But again, I agree with Locks. I think he should stay.
I'll just read what what Fabrizio Reed, his best mate. Fabrizio Reed claims Leicester City boss Enzo Maresca is super keen on joining Chelsea this summer as the Blues continue their search. It says there were several names in the frame for one of the most lucrative jobs in football. Locks, is Chelsea one of the best jobs in football, or is it appears a poison chalice at the minute?
Look, I'm torn on this one because, I think if you go there and you succeed, right, you're gonna look great because not many managers recently have done that. I mean, Potter went there, was sacked after a few months, and Lampard was sacked twice. Tommy Tuchel won. I mean, he won a Champions League for crying out loud, and he was sacked a few months later. So,
you win the FA Cup, though, did it?
No, but you're probably doomed. You're probably doomed, right? You're probably doomed. But I do think if Enzo went to Chelsea with the quality of players that they do have and the money that's available to bring in players, I think Enzo would probably do quite well. And if the paper talk is to be believed, the reason Enzo's on the list is because they want to play like Pep, or they want to play that type of football. It's. Can you imagine Pep Guardiola, Enzo Maresca, and Mikel Arteta, the three bloody running football in England, mate? I mean, that is what's kind of making me think it might not happen, mate. Is I think Enzo might go against it. I think Brighton is a better opportunity right now than Chelsea. I think, whatever happens I think McKenna is the important piece in all of this, because McKenna's linked with Brighton and he's linked with Manchester United and he was linked with Chelsea. I think McKenna will turn down. I don't think McKenna will go to Chelsea. I don't see that in any
I don't think McKenna would leave to go to Brighton, because they're similar kind of clubs in the family way. They're that kind of style. He would want to test himself at a bigger club. Yes, Brighton have got into Europe, but they only finished, I think, 12th this year, 11th or 12th.
Yeah.
I think there's big rumours that he might be trying to go for that Man United job if Ten Hag gets sacked. I think that's what apparently is going on around it, because he's been there before, and if he's got a chance in managing United, his best chance is now if Ten Hag gets sacked. So that's probably where McKenna would go if that did happen. But again, it all depends on where Chelsea want to go, because realistically, they always seem to want to try and go for that high-level manager. At the moment in this time, the highest you could probably go is De Zerbi, unless you go for someone like Potter again, but they're not going to do that.
See, I actually, like I said, I'm not too fussed about whether he goes or not, but I sort of agree with Locks as well, and I've always said this, you need stability.
Yep.
You need the same focus. Even though I don't like the style of football, you need continuity. And having the same managers last year, maybe the same players, depending on which that's a worrying thing for me. We'll come on to that in a minute. The same players, the continuity, the consistency. Yes, I want him to stay. But if he goes, I'm not 100%. I know that sounds a bit two-faced what I'm saying, but I won't be 100% bothered if he does go. But I agree with you, Locks, that he does. We need continuity instead of swapping and changing managers.
There's advantages and disadvantages in going for me. Advantages is the fact that if he does go, we should be going in for like a Premier League manager who has done it in the past and could keep us up. But then on the opposite side of that, and a disadvantage is the fact that if he does go and someone else comes in, we've got to change the whole system again, and it all changes and whatnot. It could mean a disaster, like Locke said. So there's disadvantages and advantages from him going, but I think the biggest advantage we got is him staying, because, like you say, it's his stability.
You mentioned this earlier, Locks, about the style of football and the way he plays. David has says, where's that gone? The style that Enzo's put into the players now, if he leaves, will be disaster. But I keep getting told that everyone around the world is now playing a similar kind of style of this. I know it's not the same style of football, but it's a similar style of football all the way around the world. So whatever manager comes in is not going to go to the old 4-4-2 and play dam-busting football and go forward all the time. It's going to be possession-based football, Lock. So it's not going to be that much of a disaster, surely.
I think it's different. I mean, I've seen people this season say Enzo is Brendan Rodgers 2.0. I mean, it's different football. I mean, just watch the Mark Albrighton interview on TalkSport 3 days ago. He said the same thing. He said, no, it's very different to under the last manager. So, let me give you this very small example. Fullbacks. We ain't got no bloody fullbacks at the club. So I don't know what people expect us to, we ain't got a left back at the club anymore. I mean, Luke Thomas is out of favour. Christensen's on his way to belong here, it seems. Because Luke Thomas is not a Premier League footballer. We saw that with Sheffield United last season. So there's one example. I just think, like you said, I mean, I keep repeating it, but stability is needed. I would encourage somebody to go through it. Somebody in the chat, go on Google and try and find out a list of managers who left or were sacked after promotion, and tell me where their club ended up. I've tried to have a look. I can't really find much information. Somebody said, someone online said Glenn Hoddle at was he at Swindon, Jamie? You'll know more than me.
He went to he beat us in the playoffs and then went to Chelsea that following summer. That summer. And went to Chelsea
during promotion. And did they get relegated straight away? Probably.
I think they did.
Yeah,
I think they had one season up and then went straight back down.
Yeah. So even if you look at a Nigel Pearson 2015 situation, right, where I know there were reasons he was sacked, after the Great Escape because of what happened abroad. But even that wouldn't bother me as much. A year in the Premier League, right, survival, and then he leaves, whether it's because of a sacking or resignation, I don't know. But that wouldn't bother me too much. It's that this is going to be our first year back in the Prem with a points deduction, with God knows what players, with FFP. I just think it would be. I do think it would be a bit of a disaster. And people argue with me by saying, well, Company stayed, and he was, like Jono said, right? Company stayed, and they still went down, and whatever. Well, yeah.
And now he's left now and gone Bayern Munich, which seems a strange move.
Well, Enzo may well be sacked in 6 months if he stays, right? There's no way of knowing. We don't know yet, right? But I just think our best chance of staying up is if he stays. Mm-hmm. I do. And
like
mate.
Robert says, he's now sacked. Now he's sacked. Chelsea will go for Xavi from Barcelona, which I was quite surprised. But you never know. They might do that. That might be the way they want to go. And then Enzo will still be us. And like you say, Locks, the continuity will still be there. And he's the best chance of trying to stay in the Premiership.
Scott was asking us a question there as well.
Say again.
Scott in the chat was asking a question to me and Locks regarding Enzo.
Where was that? I've missed it. Where was it? Right, go on then. Well, Locks has just answered that.
Is with
Enzo.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. Like I say, people will say that getting a new manager might give us better quality and a better style of football for the Premier League to keep us up. But like Locks said, the style of play we've been playing has been drilled into the players this whole last year. So going forward, keep that style and hopefully the momentum and the quality of what we've been doing in that style hopefully pushes through.
That's why I'm wearing my black top this morning. You know it, Chris.
I'm not saying Enzo will keep us up. I'm just saying it's the best chance. That's all I'm saying.
Possible chance,
we ain't gonna get anyone. We ain't gonna get a manager in who's head and heels above Enzo Maresca. I mean, it's not gonna happen. I mean, a lot of people are saying that they would like Graham Potter, and I think even that might not even be possible. He might be still holding off. I mean, he turned us down He turned us down when he turned us down when Rodgers was sacked, and then he turned us down again in the summer, right? When they decided to not keep on Dean Smith. So he's already turned us down twice. He turned down Crystal Palace earlier this season. He's turned down jobs. He's clearly waiting for something.
Sorry, what are you talking about?
Potter.
Oh, Potter. Sorry, yeah.
He's turned down a few clubs. He's turned down a few clubs recently. So there's no guarantee we could even get him. So God knows who we'd look at. You have got the names out there like David Moyes and a couple others. But, are they head and heels over Enzo? I don't think they are. I don't think they're head and heels over him.
Really. Ryan's asked a good question here. Well, sort of a statement. Enzo Ball will dominate games versus all teams outside the Big Six, giving us the best chance to overcome the points deduction. Would you agree with that? Do you think the teams outside the top six, we will dominate a lot more of the ball, have more chance of winning?
I think we'll dominate the ball. I think we'll have more possession. I agree with that, but it all depends on who we buy in the summer, because realistically, this team isn't ready for it, in my eyes. There's a few players in there that you'd probably say is ready, but you need to bolster that team and make sure we've got a better player in a lot of positions to make sure we have this standard to step up with this style. Because the team we've got now, I don't think we would be able to stay up, in my eyes.
Phil Upton says there'll be a 10 million release clause in his contract. What's Chelsea's 20 million plus 10 million release clause? What's Chelsea's 20 million? Not quite sure what that means there. But yeah, there's a 10 million release clause. It's unusual for a manager to get such a high figure, isn't it, Locks?
Yeah, well, it went up, didn't it? It went up with promotion. I don't know what it was like before. I think it might, maybe half, maybe 5 mil. I think, again, you know, whatever people think about Enzo Maresca and him as a manager or his style of football, he is clearly a manager that is on his way up. And the reason they gave him such a big release clause is because Leicester knew, probably not this soon, but they knew at some point clubs would come sniffing. He turned down Sevilla 2 weeks ago. That's what Fabrizio Romano said. He rejected any advances from Sevilla. So, you know, there will be football clubs that come round for him. If he doesn't leave us this summer, there'll be, and he keeps us up, there'll be some round next summer as well. And, you know, I think that's why they've put such a big release clause. You know, it is whether people agree with it or not, it's because of his education, if you like, under Pep Guardiola. That is why people see him as an exciting manager. Look at Mikel Arteta. You know, he's done well. Not won the Premier League, though, has he? But he's done well. So
I was speaking to a Spanish friend of mine who was a Seville fan yesterday. And when he heard about the Enzo rumours, he wasn't too enthralled about it.
No, I'm not surprised.
So I don't. So even the Seville fans, I know that was only one Seville fan out of I don't know however many thousands they've got, but he was saying that he wasn't like the most best pleased if Enzo would have got the job.
Well, no, because he's, for me, like, don't get me wrong, he's a good manager, but he's not that high level. He's only been in 2 managerial jobs. He's been for Parma for 14 games in 1 season with the Championship team Leicester. So
he's not like the elite manager we had last time.
No, but that's the difference. Like, that's why I'm still wondering anyhow why Chelsea even want to go for him, because yes, the system and the philosophy might be there, but he has never even like managed himself in the Premier League. Why do you think he would do that at a higher level for someone like Chelsea who wants to get to top 4 position? His next step is to get from Championship now to staying up in the Premier League, not going bloody top 6 next year.
This is what I wanted to talk about as well. I said it earlier. Nothing will come to light until players and coaching staff are back at Seagraves. As far as I'm aware, everyone is on leave, and the first personnel out are back in about 2 weeks. I think it's a bit longer than 2 weeks. But
we'll know before then.
You are.
We'll know before then. They were.
That's we'll know this week.
That's
what I'm trying to say. Most clubs now, we've had 3 weeks from the end of the EFL.
Yeah.
Most of the clubs have put out their retain list and who's staying and who's going. But we're still stuck on this guessing game that's putting us under pressure and making us feel nervous. Oh, who's staying? Who's going? Are we getting a new manager? Surely the retain list would have been known by now. Who's going and who's staying? Who's been offered contracts? And you'd have thought, for me, sometimes the silence from the club sometimes is really deafening.
Yeah, I mean, Enzo was appointed while people were still on leave last summer.
I know a lot of the players were on holiday and stuff like that still.
Yeah.
But a lot of the work is done by the representatives and the agents of the players. Yeah. The players don't actually have to be there in the room physically like it was 30, 40 years ago. No, and Leicester's legal team, they're not on leave. You know, they'll get the same amount of leave as us guys. You know, they'll get they still work a 9 to 5, you know, not a 9 to 5, but you know what I mean? They still work a normal job, you know, the legal team and stuff like that. They'll have their 35 days of leave a year, whatever. So it's things will still be going on. The, you know, top and the recruitment team, is it Martin Glover? They'll be looking at, and Rudkin, they'll be looking at names now, manager jobs, unless they've already had a definite no from Enzo, a definite no that he's not going, which that could be the case, by the way. That could be the case. Enzo might have already told the board, I'm not going anywhere. But if that hasn't happened, they'll be looking around. They'll be seeing what jobs are available. They will be speaking to the representatives of other managers as well, saying, look, we might lose a manager, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of work going on right now as we speak. 100%. Terry's put this about the ban list. Is the retain, etc., due to the Championship ban? Now, I'm sure I saw a tweet either from Matt Piper or Owen, or it might have been Jason Bourne, about the ban will be lifted
On
on
the 6th of
June the
June.
6th.
Yeah, June 6th, and then
Have
you
I
can
seen, have I
start.
seen that, or have I just missed? Have I?
No, you have. You saw it. I saw it as well.
So, why is that ban, Locks or Reedy, being lifted? What's the point in having a ban? Is it just
The
because
Ban's
it's on
poppycock, mate.
Because we are still we're at this moment in time we are still a championship club. Obviously, the
until 5 o'clock today when the playoff final finishes?
well, basically, yeah, but obviously it doesn't officially. We're not officially a Premier League club until the 6th of June. So
From what I understand, it's a load of crap, right? Because it's a registration embargo. Obviously, transfer embargo is the thing that people know it as because it makes the most sense. But it's a registration embargo. It means you can't register players to your squad. Well, there's no squad registration going on. The season's done. That's why it was. This is why the whole EFL thing, right? Why they gave us a registration embargo in what, February, March? There's no bloody transfer window. There's no transfer window. What? There was no point for them to give it to us, right? But they did it to embarrass Leicester City because we embarrassed them. We took them for mugs. We effed them off, right? With the whole not giving them the accounts and all of that stuff because we don't, conform to your league and all of this, right? And they gave us a transfer embargo even though we couldn't even sign anyone. So it's a registration embargo, and basically in my head it's already done because it's not stopping us from doing anything now anyway, and it's going to be gone anyway officially on the 6th of June. So yeah, it's a load of crap, mate. It's just the EFL doing it was just them giving us a little elbow to the gut, mate, saying, here you go then, you've effed us over, here you go, have this. And
no, Derek, that's the fixtures when the fixtures come out on June the 18th. I think the transfer window opens on the June the 13th, I think, or the 14th. But that 18th of June is the fixture. I'm sure that's the fixture date, which we'll be all anticipating. What was I going to say? Oh yes, just before we go, Locks is here with the old Mr. Quizmaster, and we had Reedy on, didn't we, Reedy, on Friday? Mm-hmm. And Reedy, how many? Because I'm on this week, so I'm not. I haven't seen your show yet, Reedy. So how many points did you get, Reedy?
I got 18. So at this moment in time, I think I'm second.
Is he second? Right.
I think
so
I'm second as it stands.
So who's top? Rick's top, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I've got to do mine this week. I'm on this week. I'll let you know. That's a bit of a spoiler alert. I'm on this
Rick's
week.
on 19. Rick's 19.
Rick's on 19. Well, so I've got 2 to beat. Oh, Reedy should be easy then.
Well, let's just say this. There's an old fogey on the other side of this screen who probably knows a lot more about most of us. So you probably will. I don't know. You never know, but
no, but Reedy's already getting his excuses in, but he can't because a lot of Reedy's questions were more recent questions.
I'm younger. I don't care.
Exactly. So you had the more recent.
You still know your history.
Yeah, but you know more about Leicester than
me.
You
wait. I won't tell anybody, but Locks knows my specialist subject, and it's not the 2015-16 season. I can tell you that for sure.
And I still didn't get that right. So.
But if any of you fans out there, especially Leicester City on the YouTubers and stuff like that want to have a go, Locks is more than willing for you to come on and test your knowledge. Locks, get some good questions. I've seen I haven't seen readers, all the first 2, and there were some difficult questions there, Locks.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I mean, look,
there's a couple of easy ones, but
there's some very, very easy ones. There are some very, very easy ones. Yeah, but yeah.
So cheers for Locks. I mean, we're going to call it quits here because some of us have got to go back work even on a Sunday morning. Locks, are you on Thursday as well? Were you doing Thursday nights?
Yes, probably. I imagine so.
Yes.
Yeah.
And me on Friday with you doing the quiz. I'm looking forward to it, pal.
Yes. Yeah. Of course.
Are we all forgetting Phil's show tomorrow? No.
Oh yeah, Phil's Fan Zone show. That's every Sunday and Monday. Mine on Sunday. It's on a Monday.
I will be saying that I am taking that over for tomorrow.
Don't
Oh, yeah.
talk about it then, Jamie.
That's nobody watching it then. We've really taken it over.
No. Well,
It's
if you
Bank
want to
Holiday
watch,
Monday, isn't it? It's Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow, isn't it?
yeah. He decides to take a break when he can. So.
Oh, one quick thing. Quick, everyone. Are your thoughts still the same on the playoff semi-final? On the final, I said Southampton in the playoffs to go through. Locks, are you still going Leeds? Did you say
Leeds are going to win it. Leeds will win it, mate.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, literally before we went live, my Leeds mate said to me, "He went, I'm off to Wembley," and I just went, "Good luck, mate. You'll need it." So, but I do think Leeds will win it. But I think it'll be very close. To be honest, I don't think it'll be an absolute runaway.
3-2 Leeds.
I just want Leeds to lose it so Locks can have even more banter next year with them while we're.
It would be a lot more funnier if Leeds didn't go up, but I can't see it. If I'm totally honest,
it would be very funny. It
would.
would be very funny if they don't go up, but they will. They will. They'll get it over the line, I think.
You'd be ghosted by all them Leeds fans, wouldn't you, Locks? No one would want to reply to you.
Mate, they won't get away from me. I'll harass them. Especially this guy. I'm coming for you, Nipper. I'm coming for you.
Oh, yeah. He's good because he's a Leeds fan, isn't he? And he keeps coming on and watching our shows, doesn't he? So he's good.
He'll be disappearing after today if he don't win it.
John O'Towers is saying Southampton as well. I'm saying Southampton. I don't want it to go to extra time and penalties. Or wrong question, wrong. But he's laughing at you, Lock. So hopefully you'll be able to laugh even harder at 5 o'clock your time. Right then, lads. Love you and leave you. Cheers, Locks. Thanks a lot for joining. Getting out of your pit at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Cheers, mate. See you again soon. Reedy, we shall see you later. We'll actually see you on the Phil's Fan Zone show tomorrow night while you are doing it. You are hosting. Hope you have got all your notes wrote down and everything ready for it.
We don't need notes unlike you, mate. We go off the flow and just get it done. All about the follow, all about the comments, all about the views. It's all really matters. It certainly is, pal.
It certainly is. Right then, Reedy, we shall see you through the week.
Yes, I'll see you in a bit.
If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window, pal. See you later, mate.
See you in a bit.
There we go. Another great show. Thanks for joining me. Adam says, don't want Leeds. Chris says, I thought it was 50-50 with Manu. Who would have thought it? Nipper's shitting himself. Reedy is freestyling. Do you mean freestyling? Sorry. Wayne, you're welcome, pal. So all I've got to say is once again, much appreciated everyone watching this morning. Like I say, much appreciated for getting out of your pit at 9:30 every Sunday morning. So it's ciao, adios, goodbye, arrivederci. Come on, you foxes. There goes the final whistle.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Barlow Blinds, Booker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Nubian Cow, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news,